Hello and welcome back to Exterminate, a Doctor Who podcast. And today we'll be reviewing Empire of Death, Rusty Tavis, the final episode of Series 1. So let's get into it. Okay, who let the dog out in this episode? Why did they say it free?
Why did Russell T Davies feel the need to let the dog out? That's what I want to know.
It was alright in the kennel.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. What a disappointment, really.
Yeah.
It just wasn't very good at all.
It started off really well, then it just went down, down and down.
The Legend of Ruby Sunday was really good. It was a nice little setup, and then
really good episode.
Yeah.
Probably like one of the best ones of the season. Then it goes into this episode, starts really good, and then it goes downhill. Then it slightly goes back up good again, and then.
Well, I don't know. I just thought it was just a lot of people sort of moping about. Really, it was sort of a case of it started off really exciting with like the dust cloud taking over Earth and everything.
Scene.
Yeah, they're trying to get away from the dust and everything, but then it just went really boring. And it ended up this ridiculous thing at the end where they just put the dog on a lead and took it for a walk, which I thought looked crazy, and it just made the whole thing of Sutek was meant to be this really scary, powerful villain. And we just watched. Prior to this was this new version of Pyramids of Mars.
He was just let out to use the toilet, really.
Well, the thing is, Sutek sat in a chair for the entire 4 parts, basically, and he was more threatening just sitting down, just using Gabriel Wolf's voice
or powers, whatever.
He had psychic powers, and that wasn't used at all in this. And he just sort of clinging on to the TARDIS, and this whole thing of. He was clinging to the TARDIS since basically that time, from when we saw that serial in 1974.
Who do you think his favourite companion would be?
God, that's the thing.
Who's Sutek's favourite companion?
None of it makes any sense whatsoever.
Who's his favourite Doctor?
I mean, the TARDIS blew up in the Pandorica Opens. So what happened to Sutek then? Captain Jack clung onto the side of the TARDIS in Utopia. So did he not feel this presence of Sutek?
He just gave him a hug.
Gave him a hug. Oh, honestly, it was utter bobbins. It was nonsense.
Yeah, I mean, the bit with Ruby finding her mum's good, although the poor guy waiting for Ruby to get her coffee. You're just waiting there. Coffee for Ruby. Yes, my name's Ruby. Just get the coffee.
Oh, you're talking about the end now. I've forgotten about that. You probably realise, everyone, this is a few weeks ago when we watched this, and this is a very, very late review.
Probably my fault bit though.
Yeah, Scott's just not dedicated enough. But yeah, I just don't think it was. Once again, Russell T Davies, I think he just sits there, comes up with he's like an ideas man. He's probably laughing to himself. He just thought, oh, we could take Sutek for the big dog, take it for a walk in the time vortex. He thinks it's really clever and funny in his mind. But when it comes out, it's utter rubbish. Sorry. Yeah. I hate being down on Doctor. There was some good stuff in this. I like the bits in the memory TARDIS. Even that doesn't make any sense, the whole memory TARDIS thing. How does it all of a sudden become a real thing that can fly out of the time window, and now it's just floating around space?
But they said it's Ruby's memories, even though it's
it's time. Time is memories, space, and memory is time. That's what they're saying. And that's how it's built, this TARDIS. Again, it's just there's no real explanation for anything. It's just all because we got this thing now that Russell T Davies has said, because of what the Doctor did in Wild Blue Yonder, he invoked a superstition at the end of the universe or time, whatever it was. I've forgotten that. It's a long time ago since I watched it.
At the end of the universe,
something like that. So he opened the floodgates for all these like more mythical things and gods to come through, which is fine, but you still got to explain it. And just saying, oh well, it's magic or it's fantasy, it's not an answer, I'm afraid, and I think it's doing your audience a bit of a disservice, really.
Yeah. I mean, the end was interesting of Mrs. Flood, because she seems to break the fourth wall every single time you see her.
Oh, that's annoying me. Sorry, everything about it's annoying me. That's annoyed me now as well. I know this is going to carry over into the next season, but it was too many mysteries. Oh. I think it was too much going on, and I just walked away going, well, was that it? Really, the whole thing about it snowed when with Ruby, she made it snow and things time stood still for a bit. What happened there? That was never explained. Was this something to do with Sutek? Was this Sutek's influence, or was Ruby actually does have special powers? And I don't know. Is it? I mean, it could be explained in the next season. I don't know, but at the moment, it's left me feeling very frustrated.
He said he would. There was an interview. He said he would explain who Mrs. Flood is, but he wouldn't explain why she keeps breaking the fourth wall. It just sort of happens.
I know.
He said he wouldn't explain.
I know, and that's I think that's my problem. Russell T Davies. He thinks it's being clever and funny, and it's not. It's just bad, lazy writing, as far as I'm concerned.
That's a bit too far.
Not really. It's not because. He comes up with these great mad ideas,
and they're good ideas,
but they never really come to anything, unfortunately. And this didn't. It sort of he thought about bringing back Sutek, just to take the Mickey out of it, really, and that's basically what it was. I mean, he reduced Sutek to nothing really.
The design was good.
It's something you think about what happened in the Legend of Ruby Sunday, where the Doctor realised it was Sutek at the end of the episode. He was petrified, but in the rest of the episodes, then all that was forgotten about. And at the end, he just he does this every time. Russell T Davies does it with the Daleks, with the Cybermen. He turns it into like a jokey sort of runaround, really. I'm a bit tired of it, to be honest.
It's sort of annoying because they got rid of the whole of Unit, and it would have been so cool to see Unit face off against Sutek, like in an actual episode.
Well, the thing is, it's sort of like you see like Kate crumbling to dust. You think, oh my god, they've killed Kate Stewart, but then you see everybody else crumbling around her, and you think, well, no one's going to be left dead at the end of this.
Why didn't any of them run away? Like, because there was
you couldn't because
a staircase. Because they would have had I mean, they could have run away because that's how they got down to that level where the memory window was, either by a staircase or a lift. They could have just gotten down that way.
Well, there wasn't enough time for them, was it? Because what do you think? Well, they were standing right in front of Sutek, weren't they, when she blew the dust? Susan Twist blew the dust.
I feel like Rose sort of had no
Rose did nothing. All this was going on. She's standing there tapping on her iPad. I mean, she did absolutely nothing in this. Again, why bring a character back to have them do nothing?
Come to play some Subway servers while Sutek's about to kill me.
It's I thought it was utter rubbish. I really did. And it was not a very good season anyway. But I said there was some good stuff.
It wasn't a bad season. It just wasn't very strong.
I don't know. It was again a lot of nothing again, really. It's a lot of ideas that didn't really come to it. And it says something that the two episodes that were probably the best were the ones that didn't actually feature the Doctor that much.
I mean, Dot and Bubble was written by him and 73.
Yeah, but the Doctor was hardly
in it. But they were really good.
So, yeah, he seems to be better writing not for the Doctor for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't think he can write for the Doctor. I don't know.
Is it because he hasn't written for it in quite a while and he's sort of trying to get back into that?
Well, I don't know. He keeps doing the same things all the time. It's like when Rose left at the end of David Tennant's first season, and he's sort of, oh, I love you and all that to the Doctor, and he repeats that again with this season as well, with Ruby leaving. She's, oh, I love it. It's like running out of ideas, basically. Not running out, but he's just recycling ideas, I think.
They said she said it even though it was only after a few months, but if you think about it, they were travelling with each other for at least 6 months a year, because they mentioned that it was July in Devil's Claw, even though they first started seeing at Christmas.
I think again that's another problem, because we've not seen all that. We've had to sort of assume that, read between the lines what's happened between the Doctor and Ruby.
There are books coming out with that season, so we might figure something out.
Average fans or the viewer, the casual viewer, is not going to read Doctor Who books, right? It's only people like yourself or me who might pick up a Doctor Who book to read what went on in between those adventures. Same with Big Finish as well. It's only die-hard fans are going to do that kind of thing. Your average viewer doesn't care. So they want to see it all, usually they want to see it all played out on screen, not massive leaps of logic because the showrunner decides, oh, well, it doesn't matter. I'm sorry, it does. I'm really am quite sort of frustrated with the whole thing because
Although
it's
it's one
meant,
of those seasons, like what? Like it's like one of the seasons like Jodie Whittaker's era. Now all of a sudden her era is sort of being praised a little bit more than it was when it was first airing. You know, she's getting praised. She's getting Big Finish now. You know, she's
well,
in
I
that.
think it's
quite.
I think it's a case of careful what you wish for because everybody wanted the Chibnall era to finish, and they're all saying that fantastic, RTD's came back to save Doctor Who. He hasn't really. I think he's doubled down on what Chris Chibnall set up before because they always was hoping he would do away with the whole timeless child thing, and he hasn't, and quite rightly so.
You can't really get rid of something that was there.
No, you can't just ignore it. And he hasn't really.
He's used it.
Yeah, but again, he hasn't really sort of followed up on it at all, to be honest. Sorry, I don't know if you can hear in the background Scott's sister and my daughter Amelia's screaming in the background. She's playing a game online, so apologies if the microphones are picking her up. I'm really disappointed with it. Yeah. So, there was some good stuff though. I mean, what did you think of with Ruby meeting her birth mother?
That was a good scene. It kind of came out of nowhere, but it was a good scene. But I thought
it was nicely done and nicely acted. I mean, that's the thing. I think the acting was good. I like Ncuti Gatwa. I like Millie Gibson.
I like Mel being possessed.
Mel's really good. Mel's getting something to do, and it's that's what I find frustrating because they're all really good actors, just given rubbish to act in, really.
Like Chris Chibnall's era.
Yeah. It's just I don't know. It's I'm not dumbing down's the wrong word. It's not dumbing down. It's just sort of trying to. It's like using the excuse of it's fantasy now, but you still got to have some kind of logic to it. And there's not just saying, it's fantasy. I could do what I like now because it's fantasy.
You can't. I'm kind of beginning to lean towards Stephen Moffat being like one of the best writers. Because he wrote one of the best episodes this season. He's writing a Christmas special, and everyone says that his Christmas specials are some of the best Christmas specials. And I think he could be.
He's another writer. When he's good, he's good. But again, he can be quite. I've found his writing to be quite smug. Actually, and again, he's like Russell T Davies. It's that whole thing. Aren't I being clever?
Although he seems to be better when he's guest writing, when he's writing for someone else's characters they've built up.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I agree with that actually because I think when RTD's given free reign and Stephen Moffat is free reign, you get the worst excesses of their writing. And we know that they can both write really good stuff.
I mean, look at stuff like The 11th Hour and Journey's End and all that. They're really good episodes.
Yeah. It's just
they can write really well if they use.
And I hate being critical of Doctor. I just want to be able to just sort of love it, but I can't sit there and say I love something when I didn't really, and I really didn't love this series at all. And I think the finale was rubbish. You've taken this all powerful god and it's turned it into Scrappy Doo basically.
I mean, in the future, God knows, it could be like. People might look at it like a good season. Like Series 8, people didn't really like at first, I think.
No, people didn't like Series 8 because they didn't like that take on the Doctor. They didn't like the Doctor being all,
Now it's a favourite,
Well, yeah, I think
and the Series 10 finale.
You don't know what you've got till it's gone, as the saying goes. And I think that's the thing. I think people realise that, maybe, that era of Doctor Who wasn't as bad as they remembered. I love that period of Doctor Who because I like Peter Capaldi's take on the Doctor. I mean,
some people hated the Series 10 finale at first. Now it's rated like one of the best episodes, some of the best episodes in the whole of Doctor Who. So, maybe this could turn around.
Maybe in later years, might see it differently. But right now, I think it was a bit of a wasted opportunity, really. It really was. It just shows that Rusty Davies is all about spectacle. And not really writing a coherent story or missing chunks of narrative out where it just sort of none of it makes sense now, So there you go.
There we go. So what are you? What do you want to see next series to improve?
Just improve on the writing. Just improve the stories.
Well, there's going to be 4 guest writers next series. We know that now.
Yeah.
So that's going to be exciting.
Yeah, RTD just to write less, really. But then again, I wasn't a big fan of Rogue either. I thought that was again, it was pretty pants, to be honest. And again, big leaps of logic in that one as well.
Was supposed to be. It feels like it was supposed to be set earlier in the series. I feel like if they switched that and Delva's cord around, I think it might have been.
Well, the thing is, there does seem to be. I felt the same thing actually. This sort of like the running order of the episodes had sort of been mucked around a little bit. Like the Devil's Cold, I felt should have come later in the series, but I think it was pushed forward because it was going out on Eurovision night. So because we had that double episode drop, didn't we?
Yeah.
Space Babies and that one. So
I mean, they weren't. Not all the episodes were bad. I'm not saying I hated them to the point I'm gonna go on the internet and start writing on Yelp or something.
No, hate's the wrong word. It just wasn't.
It's just okay. That's really just.
It wasn't even okay for some of them. Really, I think it's just I think maybe like for me back in the day when Sylvester McCoy took over as Doctor Who, that period of Doctor Who wasn't for me, and I got a funny feeling this is the same now. This period of Doctor Who is not for me. It's not written for me. So which is fair enough.
Now you love Sylvester McCoy's era.
Well, yeah. Again, you look back and think, well, it wasn't that bad.
I mean, everyone else going further on, they might go back to it after Russell Davies is gone and be like, oh yeah, this wasn't that bad. There's some really good episodes in this. Why don't we look away from the bad episodes and go to the good episodes and praise them instead of going to the bad stuff and talking about that and forgetting all the stuff that was good in that series.
Yeah. I think that is the problem. You look at the bad stuff and it does taint the whole experience for you.
If you look at the good stuff, it's a good series. It's not going to be the best.
The thing is, though, Scott, did you enjoy it? I mean, I didn't really enjoy it. Just not my microphone, sorry. But did you enjoy it though?
I did.
Well, that's it then.
I didn't mind it.
Yeah.
It wasn't my favourite. I mean, really, this Doctor's going to be like between Jodie Whittaker and now they're like my doctors, if you say that. So I kind of have. So it's sort of like
you sort of
I'm going to enjoy it.
You've grown up watching them, haven't you? So like I did with John Pertwee and Tom Baker.
Yeah, so really, Jodie Whittaker is sort of my Doctor in a way.
Okay,
not
that's
like actually, as in like my favourite, but like she's sort of the Doctor I've grown up with.
You don't remember much about the Capaldi era because you were quite little then, weren't you? Yeah, just a baby then, really. So
I don't remember much about all that. So like that, everyone seems to have a certain era. And they've gone back to it and noticed, oh yeah, now this is my favourite, Yeah,
that's it. Attitudes change. Maybe I might soften towards this particular iteration at one point, but right now, no.
I remember watching Arachnids in the UK and thinking, "Oh God, this is scary," and like I kept thinking, "What if?"
So that's the thing. You set of thinking it's scary. I set of thinking this is rubbish.
Yeah, because I saw the spiders and I thought, because I was like sitting on the sofa, or like I thought when every time I went on the floor, because there's like a gap between the little gap between the floor and the sofa, I thought a spider was going to come up and grab my foot.
It
just like
takes everyday things and makes it scary. That's fine, but that's it. Well, that's the thing. People get different things out of books or films or TV shows or art, any kind of art, really. It's that's what it is. So.
I'm going to look at it in a good way.
I've been talking for about 20 minutes now, slagging it off. So,
yes.
Anything else we want to add, Scott?
No, not really.
Not really? Okay.
No. Okay. That's basically all to say. Anyways, before we go, what would you rate this series out of 10?
Oh, this episode first.
This episode. This episode.
3 out of 10.
Series.
The series is middling. 5 out of 10.
5, 6 out of 10, somewhere between there for you then?
5 out of 10 for me for the whole season.
Yeah, okay. I don't really know what to rate it. Probably like between 5 and 10, somewhere between there. Actually, no, between 5 and 9, not 10.
This is getting confusing, Scott.
Yeah, somewhere between 5 and 9.
All right, okay.
I don't really know.
Okay, cool.
Okay,
right.
So that's that. So I hope you have enjoyed watching, and I'll see you. I don't know. I'll see you soon. Right. Goodbye.
Bye.